Robert, welcome back, Robert. Hello, Grizz. How are you? Robert. All right. I see your request, Robert. I'm sorry we didn't get to you last week. I guess my connection was really terrible. Grizz, is the audio okay? There she is. Showered and feel better? Good. I'm glad, Grizz. I'm glad. Gran, welcome, Gran. Grizz, will you let me know how the audio is? Does it sound okay? Do I need to speak up? Is there any interference? Log into the Jade account? Okay, cool. Good audio? Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Cran, will you do me a favor when you get a chance? Will you call in? Robert, I promise. I'll have you call in tonight. For sure. Just my fan? Yeah, it's freaking hot here, Grizz. I'm gonna sweat like a hog. It's overcast. It's very hot. You name it. It's just all a lot of uglies over here. Alright, let's see. Let's have Cran call in. Robert, don't hang up. You stay right there, Robert. There she is.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. I see you still got that braid on the side of your head.
It's a wrap.
Oh, it's a wrap. Okay.
It's like macrame basically,
Oh, that's cool.
but it's in my hair, and then it's made such a knot now that there's a dread there.
I see. Is that what
So
you're
like
going for?
as this slides out, eventually it'll be a dread. Yeah,
Nice. Is
it's
that going to
really
be a
hard
single strand?
to dread my hair, so I'll be
Oh,
lucky if I get one.
why is that?
One texture and diameter, and the fact that it's lighter. So lighter hair has less hair molecules in each shaft. So it's
Okay.
not as, it's more frail and stuff, and it goes smooth easier, whereas it's not as thick and strong like if it was Native American or African American, has really curly, so that enables it to twist and hold itself.
I see.
Whereas
Okay.
mine, when it's dirty, I can get it really, really knotty.
Right.
But if I
Right.
wash it, it sort of just goes smooth, and it'll just fall out. So it takes a
Now,
lot of work to.
I've been told in the past the best way to get dreads is to not wash your hair. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. If you
Is it
can
because
live
of the?
through the cosmetic, like, if you can live through the cosmetic array of mess, because it does look really terrible. Like you look like bedhead while you're twisting and
Yeah.
forming all the sections.
Yeah.
But for this kind of hair, you have to be teasing it and like using a product. So a lot of people will have extensions put in,
Mhm.
and then eventually as they grow, it'll become their own hair knotted.
Okay.
So it'll look like dreads, but they're not real. And then eventually it grows out over time and becomes real dreads. So you
Cool.
look
Okay.
good while you're doing it instead of going through that weird, awkward phase of like crazy, naughty, messy, I don't wash my hair head.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess
Well,
I
you
didn't
hang
tell
on.
you, I used to be a hairdresser as well.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But before we go on, welcome everybody. Welcome Tanya. Welcome Stacy, Grizz, Robert. I see you there. We got some unfamiliar faces I haven't met yet. Hopefully you stick around. Welcome to tonight's live. We have a couple of things that we're going to be going over tonight. And the person of the hour, of course, is with us already. So we're going to make sure we are get in deep and and get down that rabbit hole and find out all about Cran, find out what she's about.
I used to do cornrows and braided extensions and old lady perms and cuts and barbering and nails
Oh,
and manicures and pedicures. I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff. I'm not a
that's
master though of anything. Like I'm not like except for maybe plants. Maybe I'm okay, really good at
yeah. We're
plants.
gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that too. I went through both of your accounts today just to kind of get a feel for who Cran is, and because there's two different accounts, there's like two different sides of who Cran is. So how would you like us to identify you? Hey, Phyllis,
Whatever,
welcome, Phyllis.
whatever you're drawn to, as long as it's positive, I'm okay.
You know, I really like the name Cran. I thought it was the best name that we used back at Periscope, and it stuck with me. So I'm comfortable using that if you're okay with that.
Sure. Do you want to know the
Okay.
story?
Yes, we're gonna get into that. I know you're ready to go. As if you didn't know, Jade Tiger, who is Grizz, also I think she was a cosmetologist as well. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So
It's
I
fun.
think
It's
some
fun. Creative expression, right? And helping other people
right.
sort of feel good and you can really change someone's life by cutting their hair.
Mhm,
And I know that probably sounds really, really like, what are you talking about? But like, I remember one client in school that, came in nervous about getting something different, but was really feeling kind of like, blah, I'm a mom and I just really have no excitement in my life and whatever. And I had seen like a certain haircut on her and I made the suggestion and it was quite a drastic change. And of
mhm.
course, we encouraged her to think about it. And she came back a week later and did it. And then 2 weeks later, she came back with her whole family to tell me like how much they loved it and how happy she was. And it's like, it's not about like that I did it. It's that, wow, you found something that everybody thinks is just this little thing, but it really like changed her whole feeling about her family and being a mom and life and her as a woman.
Mm. You'd be surprised that when we can do great things for people that may seem insignificant or just a job for us, but how it
Yes.
changes their lives. I mean, and then you get that feedback afterwards. It's so fulfilling to have that
We don't
feedback from your
always.
customers.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't
We
always
don't
get the
always.
feedback, but I've been very blessed that I've gotten a lot of feedback in my life that the things that I've done and put forward have created change in good ways, which is a
You know
blessing.
what
I'm
I?
very
You
thankful.
know what I think it is? I think it is actually your energy. I think people are drawn to your energy the first time,
They
and
either
when you
like
get
it
to
or
work
they
with them,
don't.
right? I mean, isn't it like that for all of us? You're either gonna like us or you're not gonna like us. And by the way, welcome, Walter. Walter, welcome. I've seen you a couple of times, so welcome.
Oh,
But
hello, Totally Walter.
we 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 get that with everybody in our lives, including our own family. Either they really like us or they don't. And for me, I think I used to be the type of person that I wanted to make sure people always liked me. I wanted to make sure I was in the best place possible with everyone in my family. Because I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit grouchier, I've gotten a little bit more selective about who I keep in my life.
It does
Um,
happen.
it does happen. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. You don't want to be in my life, then I don't need you in my life because you're only taking up energies that I could use for elsewhere. Why waste my energies on somebody that doesn't want to return that same energy as well? You know what
I'm
I
always
mean?
like, the train's moving. You can get on, but it's moving. Like you can
Right.
stay, you can come, but it's going now.
Right. Or like at the end of the night when the bars close, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out. That kind of thing. But let's go ahead and make introductions. I was going to wait a few minutes. I think we have a lot of people coming in.
Hi,
I
Josh.
think a lot of your followers are coming in. I see a lot of familiar faces coming in as well.
Like,
Josh, welcome
totally
back,
have.
Josh. And there's Tom. Welcome back, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
So this is for everyone here tonight. Welcome everybody tonight to our live again. It is great to see some beautiful people in this room tonight. There are some amazing creators in here. We are featuring one tonight, if I may say so, and shout out a couple people.
There's a
We have
lot there. Yeah,
Josh.
yeah, do it because
Yes,
there's a lot.
Josh, who is one of the mods here. We have Grizz, who is like the right hand man for our partnership with this live and with this community that we are trying to build. Um, She's also very creative. She's also very, very gifted. Robert, greetings from Australia. We also have Stacy Michelle. She was back with us in Periscope. She's an amazing artist in herself, where she creates jewelry. And Stacy, we are going to talk because I'd like to make an offer to you to become one of our um, guest presenters. So we'll talk about that later if we can. But with that, let's get started, guys. Before we start, I would like to just take 2 seconds just to stop. Everybody, take a breather, take a deep breath, so we can start tonight. Let's collect our energies. Let's make sure we are ready to go for tonight. So, just for 2 seconds, we're going to do it, okay? All right. All right. Very good. Welcome, everyone, to our live again tonight. Welcome, community. Welcome, Soul Family. Welcome to new viewers. Welcome to the replay viewers. Now, there is an area, there's a way for you to watch the replay. We're going to make that known at the end of our stream tonight. Tonight, we are actually very, very fortunate to have a friend. I think we've known each other for a while, maybe a couple of years from back in Periscope and
For
now
sure.
in Instagram.
Yeah.
She is a very creative person. She calls herself a Jill of all trades and a master of none. But if you were to follow her Instagram account, now, which Instagram would you like our followers to really follow you on, Craig? If not both, which one in particular?
Well, the one that says Tamara is I can't get it to say my name. I don't know how to figure out to get it
Oh,
to say my real name. But
okay.
on there I share like everything, like sort of everyday stuff, like cooking, plants, crazy things we do,
Mm-hmm.
places we go, nature. It's more my personal account.
Right.
The
I noticed that.
Kranweis Mercantile. I've been trying to do like if I'm crafting something, if I'm creating something, if I'm selling something, if I'm motivating people, like I use that for like sending out good vibes every day and
Yes.
like encouraging twin flame unions and like just trying to be like that's my contribution to the world. I'm mostly stuck at home or with a child, so that's my way of like interjecting some things out into the world when I'm kind of physically stuck, not able to do too much for the world outside of me. So that's more like spiritual, like daily pull card pulls and things like that.
Okay, I
Or
see
if I
that.
get into like jewelry making again or crafting tinctures or
Oh,
whatever, I
cool.
would I would just put it all on that side. So really, it's up
Okay,
to
so
you. Of course, both or either, whatever is fine. I'm in both of them actively each day. So
I see that. I saw that. I saw that. Every day, almost. More so, I think, on the Kranweis. Now,
yes.
let me ask: is Weiss a German name?
Okay. So my nickname's Cran. And
Hmm?
then my daughter's last name is Weisner.
Oh,
And so my original business was Kranweis Urban Homestead because I figure that kind of encompasses sort of all the things I do because I'm at home and I'm doing all these
mhm.
different things. And I live
Okay.
in the city, not in the country. So it was like that's where that kind of came from.
Hmm.
So the reason I put them together was like a play on words, like that I am wise, right? But then also
Right, I
like
get that.
my business and everything that I do is for my daughter and for me. And
Okay,
so of course the name I wanted to represent her as well.
nice.
So
Okay.
that's Cranwise. That's where that
So
came
it
from.
it it represents just about everything that that represents Cran, right?
I try to live authentically. I'm not a pro, but I do attempt and give it a good shot.
As long as I think you're giving it a shot, I think that's you have to give yourself credit for that as well.
Thank you. I
You know,
appreciate you.
I do see on your Cranwise account you do a lot of readings, almost daily, multiple ones a day. Can we talk about that? Can we talk
Sure.
about what kind of readings you do or what kind of cards you are pulling? Because I noticed you have actually multiple decks, and I think the one I like the most is the one that has the animal spirits or the spirit animals on that. I
Yeah, so
love that one.
that's a newer one.
Okay.
It's more of Okay, it's more of like a knowledge deck. And so there's knowledge in it, but it's not really a reading. So that's a card that is a little bit more supportive. If I was going to give somebody, like, say, a private reading, I would use those cards to sort of expand or reiterate the main spread, like an additional, like to help, narrow down for a person what it
Okay.
is. But yeah, it has interesting knowledge about mythology and different things, meanings of the animals. It's really neat.
Because I may ask you, how many decks does Cran actually own? I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a wild guess, okay? I'm going to guess it is more than 20. I'm going to guess I'm hearing a number 33. 33
Possibly.
decks.
I actually haven't counted them. I carry them around in a big, like, grocery store plastic bin. They're really big. Because I'm a bit of a gypsy too, okay? So, like, I'm not always in the same spot. So, like,
I
I'll
got
take
you.
them with me. So I haven't counted them. I'm like, I didn't know there was going to be a test. I'm just kidding. But I will, I will find out. Like, now you've got me curious. So when not in this time, but later, I will count them and follow up with you and tell you.
Okay, cool. I just kept
There is a
hearing the number
lot.
33. 33.
There
And
is a
so,
lot.
so if you've got that in a little basket, you're a little, what they call a traveling card reader.
I'm a gypsy. Yeah, I'm a bit gypsy.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
All right,
for
I
sure.
got you. Okay, out of the ones that you do use on a daily basis, which is your favorite?
Mm, it's definitely my island wellness, but I'm biased on it because it's really special to me. Um, but my angel decks are usually good. Like, I have
Okay.
a really good message from the angels. That was one of the original ones that I used on Busker. I used to do Busker and do 2 shows a week, so I really got close with them. Um, Romance angels, fairies, but yeah, probably the island wellness.
Hmm.
Excuse me. It's an oracle deck.
Okay.
Excuse me, and it's based around like love or twin flame or like couples or unions, that sort of thing,
So
relationships.
is it basically used just for that type of reading, for twin
um
flame or
I
love?
think you could use it in other ways, but it is very heavily pushed towards love. Like things like twin, it does have like a twin flame and a soulmate card, and
Oh,
thinking of you. And I'm like, here, actually, I could just like randomly grab one. They're right here because they're always
okay.
really nice.
Randomly, go ahead and randomly grab one for me then.
Oh, okay. Well, then I gotta actually shuffle it. I'm gonna actually shuffle it then, not just like give you
Okay, no,
whatever
that
on the top.
show us the cards. It's fine. And then when you feel like you're being called to maybe offer a card or guidance to someone, and you'd like to have them call in, we can do that as well.
Sure, I'm always willing. You can inbox me
Okay.
too if you just like feeling like give me a
Yeah.
little bit of turnaround time to respond. But like you can always reach out to my inbox
Oh
and
no, I'm talking
ask.
about tonight. I'm talking about
No,
right
yeah,
now.
but I mean for everybody too. Like in the
Okay, gotcha,
future, I really am
gotcha.
like that. It's something that it would never bug me. I would never be like, oh my gosh, why is that person asking me? I'd be like, oh yeah, sure,
Right.
okay. Like when I have time, I have time in like X amount of whatever. Okay, so the one I pulled was the Phoenix. It says new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed mind. Now it's going to be backwards for you right now for lettering,
Okay.
but these are what
Okay.
they look like. And they're a little bit
I
like,
like those cards actually. I see
yeah,
that a lot on your Instagram.
yeah.
Stacy's question that says, "I wonder if I ever be able interested in love again." That card, the Phoenix, answers your question, Stacy. It does.
Stacy, we can use them in regards to self love as well. Because it doesn't have to be a romantic love. There's
I
all
think.
kinds of
I
love,
think.
guys. There's a love for
Yeah.
everybody, just like there's a
Right.
plant for everybody.
Right. I think. I think. I think that I've been preaching a lot about having being single is a relationship as well.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I've been single for way too long, but it's a relationship in itself.
Yes, for sure. And the
There's
thing is,
days
is
when
like
I
the better we get at it though, like the better we get at our relationship with ourselves and like healing ourselves, like the closer
mm,
that pulls our other person towards us. And it also helps them be able to, you know, uplift and heal and
Yeah,
expand and do their thing too. So even if you're not in like, you don't know who each other are, you're still affecting that other person wherever they are.
yeah, exactly. There are days when I really like myself, and then there are days when I can't stand being with myself, but I have no choice. So it's like being married. I have to
Yes,
be with this person
it's a
that I don't want to
commitment.
be around. Right. It's a commitment. I like it. I like that.
We're
So,
both we both suck, but we agree we're not going to back out on each other.
right.
That's the
Usually
idea.
on those days when I don't like talking to myself, you just stay in your own corner. I'm gonna work here. You stay in your own corner. I'll do my own thing. That kind of, you
You
know.
need an assistant, Muka. You need an assistant.
I
I'm
can't.
sorry
I'm
I'm so
impatient.
far away.
I'm too impatient. I can't have a. I want things done now. I want it done my way. I want it done the right way the first time. I'm
I'm
too
telling you,
impatient.
that sounds just like my dad. I'm a good assistant, I promise.
Yeah,
So a
yeah,
lot of my handy stuff is because my mom, when my sister was born, my dad like helped my mom take care of my sister, but mostly my
okay.
mom took care of my sister. And then when my mom had me, she passed me to him and said, "This one's yours." And so
Ah,
my dad would always take me outside or in the garage or with the guys at the mall or whatever, the family stuff. So I was always doing that stuff. So I'd be probably a good help, just I'm too far away. And I'd
yeah.
be
You know, I
expensive to get there for, you know, expensive to bring me
when,
there just for that.
right. Like you can see it. You can see in my posts that I have a team of one,
Yes, I
and I
know, I
like
love
the
it.
team of one. I like
I'm
the
always
team
like, damn
me.
it, he's doing it again. I'm bored today. I want to be there doing that.
Yeah. It's good because I have to keep thinking on my feet all the time. You know, keep thinking things got to change, things got to happen. I got timelines to meet, but it's not about me. Tonight is about you. So I know I asked you to write down a little bit about yourself. How about you share some of that with us?
Well, like I said, I'm a big bag of cookies. I do a lot of different things. I attest it to being my Libra sign. I'm constantly seeking balance. So once I sort of discover one thing, it takes me into learning about another. Um, I guess too, like with being through a lot of the traumas and things that I've been through, I tend to stay very busy. And if
Yeah.
my mind goes off track, I try to refocus it with like YouTube videos or documentaries or like, I have a hard time reading books. I fall asleep. When I went to college, I had to like walk back and forth in my in my bedroom. I wore the carpet down beside the bed because I couldn't study. It would just be like it wouldn't matter if I had like 12 hours
Yeah.
sleep, you know, 12 coffees. I always fall asleep. So I tend to listen to people talking
Yeah.
and sharing their opinions or their thoughts. And I enjoy listening to people I don't agree with and people I don't know anything about. And you know what I mean? So I try to look at a wide array of things. I don't know. I was raised middle class. I'm a single mom. I went to school for horticulture. I used to work in manufacturing. I worked greenhouses and farms. Um, I was in a hurry to get out of high school because I just wanted to work and like get to know people and go and explore the world. So I went to hairdressing school and I actually dropped out. I'm a beauty school dropout. And
Oh,
then I went through some trials and tribulations with a roommate. And then I did some working and I think took this like silly little retail certificate. And then I returned back to hairdressing school and completed. And then
nice.
from there I just kept going. You know, it wasn't I wasn't learning anything as a hairdresser in the salon that I was in, so I took a job in property management, which was just selling apartments. I was just showing and selling apartments. And then I was kind of bored because I sat around most of the day, so I would phone to the head office and ask for them to send me if they had extra work, filing or paperwork or something. That led to them creating a position for me in the head office. We switched companies. The new company was not nice, so I went and worked in a factory. And then I learned that I loved manufacturing and line work and machinery. And like, I just absolutely loved that job. It was amazing. So I went and looked at school and I ended up going for horticulture because it was like manufacturing, but with like better air quality and like creating plants and food. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. So I
Okay.
did go to school to learn how to grow food because um, I am a female. I have no muscles. I don't know how to use a gun, and there was at the time no man around me with muscles or a gun. So I thought, what can I do as a single woman to, if the world does go to crap like I felt it was going to, I was like, what would I do? I would be like I would be a target and very, very weak. So I went to school and learned how to grow food because I figured if I know how to grow food, then someone with the guns or the muscles might protect me so that I could feed everybody, right?
I got you. Right.
So,
Because
and then
even the guys with the guns, they need food.
yeah,
They need food to
and
survive.
I'll be
So
growing the
that was
food.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So, almost 15 years ago, I started to feel like what's happening in the earth happening, right? And trying to pull away and find out how I would secure myself. And then I worked in a community garden between my first year and second year, and I met Violet's father.
Oh, okay.
And I moved to St. Catharines, and I landed my dream job. I was really, really excited. It was to be an assistant grower. I forget. I think it was like 2000. Oh, I might have the numbers wrong, but it was hundreds and hundreds of acres of crops that I would be
Wow.
responsible for. And so I
Wow.
figured I was 30 some years old. I had no kids. I was single, so I was like, I'll go make money and take care of the babies because that's what I'm dispositioned to do, is to be a mom. But I wasn't doing it in my real life, so I was like, well, I'll do it with the plants and I'll make good money and
Right.
take care of the babies. The day before I was to start my job, I literally fell over and I couldn't stand up without throwing up. And
Oh
so on
no.
my first day of work, I actually went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant with Violet.
Oh. Okay.
And I could no longer do the job because you can't be in like hot, closed, confined spaces when you're pregnant.
Right.
You
Right.
can't spray crops with pesticides and
Right.
herbicides because you're pregnant. So my life changed, and so now here we are.
Now, Violet is your daughter, correct? And you
She's
also have a little dog named Otto.
yeah, Auto Man.
Okay. And that's the basis of your, not your entire family, but I understand now you have a partner in life now.
I do most recently.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Is it's almost a complete family? A mom, a dad, a child, and a pet. It's like a
It
almost a
sure does
nuclear
make a
family.
difference.
Right.
He's not been around for very long, but it has surely made a difference in both of our lives. Yes, for sure. The
So let
two
me.
dynamic is really hard.
Yeah.
Who breaks the ties? Who breaks the ties? Who breaks the I say this? Who says I vote this and forget, whatever. And I came from like a family where I had a mother and a father and a sister. So like
Okay.
teaching things like patience or thinking of others or like, waiting your turn, you know what I mean? Or taking turns. It's really hard to teach a child that when it's just one on one.
Mhm,
And so,
mhm.
like, I struggle a bit with that. But yes, I'm very grateful for his participation in our life, for sure.
And it actually takes a special. I don't want to say the word special. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Sure,
it
a
takes
special.
someone. It takes
Sorry,
someone.
that's what he would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, a special.
It takes someone, uh, whether it's male or female, with a very loving heart to open up their lives and share their lives with the partner's child that may not be theirs biologically. And
Yeah.
I say that because I was able to do that myself when I first met my ex-wife. She already had a daughter that was three from another person who wasn't the nicest person in the world, but that daughter today, I mean, we still connect. I still love her. She has my grandson. They both now live in the mainland, not here in Hawaii.
No.
And she's grown up to be a very, very beautiful woman and a really terrific mom. Really,
Your participation in her life is a part of that. And that's one thing, like being a single mom, one of the hardest lessons I had to learn was that I was only one piece of her life and her experience. And I had to accept that she's going to have these other people in her life, whether they're good people or bad people or a combination of both, that I wouldn't be able to always protect her or control, you know, what she was exposed to or experienced, and that I had to focus on trying to do my best, even though I don't all the time,
Mm,
and showing her that there's a choice, and showing her how to handle when it's not the greatest,
mm,
you know, because what's the future looking like for little people now is going to be so different than like what we,
right.
you know, grew up to. So it's a hard thing, though, I'll tell you, as somebody who feels deeply, it's a really hard job, because I'm
It
most
is.
worried
It is.
about her mental stability, her mind, how she feels about herself, how she feels about the world, how she treats people. I'm really most worried about those things. But as one person, I can't think of it all and cover it all. So it's nice to have somebody else go, hey, you
Right.
know, maybe you should try this. And I'd be like, okay, thanks. Like, cool. Because like there's so many things right here. Like some stuff gets missed.
I think as a mom, you being the mom of Biden, the biological mom, there has to be some trust involved when you open up that person to your child and introduce them and let them be a part of your life and let them interact with your child. There has to be a trust between you and that partner. And it
Or
has
I'm
to
just a wild,
be,
crazy lady and I just jump all in.
well, I know
No,
you're a
no.
wild and
I
crazy
didn't
lady,
date
so
for 9 years.
I
I,
got to
I,
be,
I went on
I
like
got to be,
like I had not done, I mean, I didn't, I like honestly 9 years. It took me 9 years, and that's how long it took for somebody to convince me to take that chance. Yeah.
you know why? You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing it took 9 years not for you to be ready, but for your partner to be ready. Your partner was being ready for you, and it wasn't the other way around. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not going to deny that.
I'm also hearing that you may not be the rebel, but you are one of those people who are here this second, and the very next second you could be someplace else.
I'm an air sign and water.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
with
got
some
you.
fire. Yeah.
I got you.
And
I
then
got you.
I must have gypsy in my blood. I don't know, but I really feel like I have gypsy in my blood, because if I'm stressed and I'm freaking out, you put me in a car or move me around like on a roller coaster, and I'm like, I'm cool. I'm cool. Just move me around. I'm cool.
So let me ask you. Let's get back to let's talk about some of your cards for sure, but let's talk about what got you started in wanting to do oracle cards or learning about spiritual type work. What got you started?
I've always been spiritual. My grandfather was a minister.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, from young, I was brought into, you know, reading the Bible and singing hymns and being part of the family, and then everybody goes and meeting the community and being a part of that. That was my first 6 years of life. We moved away from our community at that age for my dad's. My dad got a job promotion, and so my church life kind of stopped there. But of course, I was always a spiritual person. I was always interested in horoscopes and astrology and in magic and, you know, in all this mystery and things like that has always been of interest. Um, but I guess what made me start doing cards myself um, was trauma. And I was trying to, I am okay, I was unable to take care of myself or put myself first. It would make me feel uncomfortable or guilty or bad or just not good. And I couldn't force myself to do it. So I've always been a person that has been able to sort of work myself into a corner to force myself to do what I had to do. So I'll do things in my life to make it so that I got no other choice and I better get on it, you know. And some people say that's doing it the hard way, but I think it's more about knowing who I am. Like, this is my disposition, and now I have to do these tactics to get that on board with the goal I need in my 3D life, right? And so I I was having a trouble with my verbiage, okay? Telling myself, like, you're stupid, you're an idiot, I hate you, like, you're shit, like, just that bad language. And the negative, like, complaining and, like, just And the thing is that inside I was healing, but these habits weren't changing, which was keeping me down.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I was healing from my trauma in my insides, but my verbiage was still very negative and poisonous like my past. And so I had to think about, how do I reprogram this, because I'm not just doing it. Like, the healing from inside isn't just making that happen. Hi, Miss
Hmm.
Vicky. And then
Hi, Miss
so
B.
what I decided to do was pull oracle cards for other people, because
Mm.
one, I had been in an abusive relationship. I wasn't used to talking to adults. I had a very tiny baby at home that slept in the evening, so I was pretty much prisoner of my home every night, but wide awake and still a vibrant human being, right? So it was being social here on live broadcasting, because I really did that anyways. Like, I was already talking to people live broadcasting about plants and things. But I really want to change my voice. So to work around my psyche, I'm pulling a card for somebody else. Oracle cards are good messages that anybody can relate to. So even though I pulled a card for you, the audience listening can go, oh, wow, I thought about this, or that's a really good reminder. I should do this, or whatever. So that was how I took care of me. So in that process, I am hearing, I am reading, and I am saying positive words, but I'm doing it for someone else
Right.
intentionally first, right? So I was allowed to then receive that goodness back to myself. And so I worked this
Got
through
it.
reprogramming of my own self through caring for other people.
I got it.
And
You
that
know,
is what brought me to doing cards.
I had that similar conversation with a friend of mine today. And one of the things he said was, I put myself last before everybody else, or after everyone else. And I said, that's a good way to be of service to others. But you have to remember, I think in order for you to be good for others, you first have to be good for yourself. You can't be good for yourself if your energy, your strength, and everything else is being given away to everybody else. Because then you're left, it's like a bank account. If you don't keep putting money in the bank and you keep taking out, bank
Eventually
account
it
is
runs out.
overdrawn.
But
Right.
I'm a really weird person, and I hate to do this and always be the odd duck, but I have lived through lots of hell and lots of horrible things. And even in my darkest shadows, and even through tears in my own despair, I have sent love, I have healed, and I have helped others. So I understand what you're saying. If you have depleted your personal self to the point of not functioning, yes, your energy is not going to be helping people too much. But it is not to say that people have to be healed to heal. Love is transcending to all. If hurt people can find love, they can heal other people.
Okay, I
If
like that.
hurt people are just so hurt that they can't find anything, then no, of course they can't. But the deciding factor in if you help somebody heal surely is love. And it can come from a broken bottle, and it can come from a sealed vessel, and it can come from an open vessel. And I really want people to know that. I want you to know that if you're in your healing journey, sharing that heals others. You could be hurting, and you could maybe today you can't talk to people, but tomorrow you feel good and you can share your story, but you think, oh, I'm faking it because yesterday I wasn't. Please don't. Please keep giving your love on the days you have it to give. You don't need to be 100% healed. It's easier, it's better, it's cleaner, it's bigger, it's more powerful. But please, if you can find love at any point of your own personal experience, please share it with others, because that's how you get more. That's how abundance comes. When you send out love, regardless of what you're experiencing and how you feel you are and whatever judgment you're putting on yourself, if you can find love, give it. Give it. If someone's giving it to you, even if you feel unworthy of it, find a way to take it. Fake it. Like, fake, okay, fine, I'll take this package that I think I don't deserve. I'm going to put it in my pocket because maybe tomorrow I'm going to feel like I deserve it. And then its power is going to be unleashed. We need to keep sharing love always, because hard times are coming, guys. And people that think they're healed are going to find the cracks. And we need to remember to not give up on each other, and that we still have the power to heal each other. You know, the little monkeys, I've got the little fleas, you've got the little fleas, but we're picking all the little fleas off each other. Okay, right? So I just wanted to interject that you're totally
No,
right in what you're saying. If your energy and things are so low that you literally your physical body's not functioning right, then no, you can't channel good. But if you're broken and lying in a bed with casts on and whatever, or you're feeling really needy and lonely and emotional or whatever, if you can still find love, please share it with someone, please, because that's how it keeps going. That's how that energy just keeps pushing up. And I love
I
you.
like
And if you're
that.
having a hard time, call me. I'll help.
I like that crown because I got, not only did I get goosebumps, but I saw things from a different perspective.
I
I didn't see
try.
it from that perspective.
I try.
I
And it's
like,
not to say that I know anything more than anybody else. I try to be a reminder and a mirror, which some people don't like. But it's me. I can't turn it off.
so out of the two, I know we talked about you being a horticulturalist, so to speak,
Yeah, I am.
and a
Yep.
spiritual worker at the same time. Is there a balance in your life for both? Do you find time for a balance for both? Or does one take more priority over the other?
It depends on the day, the week, the month, the season. It's like I'm starting to get more of a flow. Like there's like a winter life and a summer life,
Okay, yeah.
you know?
Especially where you are. Especially where you are.
Right,
Because
right.
it,
Because
it
yep.
doesn't change for us here in Hawaii.
Right. Well, like I
Right.
have plants inside and then I have plants outside. So I have two different kinds. So like all through the year I'm growing plants, right?
Hmm.
But the how I'm doing it and the tasks involved in doing it change, right? Because in the wintertime
Okay.
I'm inside trying to clean up and help the plants get healthy again, because I kind of neglect the inside plants when it's summertime, because I'm in summertime outside enjoying nature and those plants.
Okay.
So the inside plants kind of get kind of like messed up and neglected and like unloved. So in the wintertime, I love them all up and clean them up and take care of them in the wintertime. And then we flop back. So there's a bit of a season.
Okay, I just gotta ask. I forgive me if it's an ignorant question, but I
No.
just have to ask. Do you talk to your plants?
Um, I'm not going to say specifically yes, not intentionally. I
Okay.
actually am just really busy. Like if I actually had like a chill, like like a more bout, like more consistency or more stability in my life, then totally I would talk to them more like intentionally. But like they're around me and my child, and they're listening to the TV because they're in every single room. You know what I mean? If we play music or whatever, or if we're smudging, or if I'm doing cards and stuff, they're all around that, like, and then things like that. So
Mhm.
I have used in the past though, I have sigils. I
Don't
don't
know what
know.
that is.
Okay. So basically it's a sign, and basically you would take like a word, and then you would erase certain things and then pull those structures together. And then you take that symbol and you would embed it on yourself or on a thing, or you would put it on a totem or whatever. You would use that
Oh,
symbol. What's the show? There's a show, something hunters, and they have all the sigils all over their body like tattoos, and they're like runes or
okay. I
mystical
know what runes are.
symbolism with intention. So excuse me. So I have some that are like, I'm strong and healthy, I grow and thrive, just things like that. And so I have those symbols all around. And sometimes every once in a while, Vi and I'll make little stickers on sticks and put like, I love you, I'm healthy and strong, or like just little messages on the pots, or we've done stuff like that
I
and
like that.
things.
I like that.
Thanks, Jade. Yeah, doors,
Shadow Hunter.
windows, your body. Yeah. I mean, even
Josh
when
said
you're
the show's
doing,
called.
if you're casting an intention, like, and you put salt down, you can draw on the salt and put your candle in the center. You can draw sigils on the sides of your candles and rub them with oil and ointment them, and then wait for them to burn. There's lots of things to do. Whatever you feel
But
drawn to do, like even use your own creativity. You know what I mean?
we're gonna have to get you to come back and do a ritual with us and show us exactly, because there's probably someone out there going, "What are runes? What are sigils? How do you do this? What kind of ritual do you do for certain seasons or whatever?" So
Do I
we might
have
have to
runes?
have you come back and do that.
The thing is like I don't know all the things. Like I do go to Google and start to research stuff, and then I just sort of pick like what I like, and I combine it, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
And that's what I encourage other people to do. Like, don't listen if somebody says you have to do it like this, you have to do it like this, you have to do it like this, you're not a this if you do it like that. That was the past. We've come into the Aquarius, and we're moving forward now. And the energy is different, and people's connections to things are going to change. And we need to start customizing. No more of this one fits all corporate type of ideals that you're not something if you don't check these boxes. Creation is creation. There's no rules on creation, and your spirit will tell you if you're quiet and listen. You might try something and then be like, ooh, that was not cool. Like, that did not bring me good stuff. So that's cool. Don't do that again. You know what I mean? So what you're
Right.
doing is you're learning your own speaker. Like, you're learning your own, you're translating your own language, basically. So
Okay.
that's why I say to just shadow hunters. Yes, thanks, Josh. Love you. They have sigils all over their body. I love that show. I would love tattoos of sigils all over me. It'd be amazing.
Now you just spoke about having your own language. I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I made a funny, and I let Chris know what it is because I'm an idiot. I'm like that sometimes. I have
We
the
all are.
worst sense of humor. But as I was reading your messages,
Yeah.
I noticed that I there were some things, some letters I had to transpose
Oh
and
yes,
try and
yes.
figure out the words.
It's
And
my fat fingers, okay? You all
hey,
need
I
to
got some
know
too.
I was born in 1977. I was around before cell phones. I used to type on a keyboard, so I
Right,
really miss buttons. I hate touch screens. They make
right.
me
I got you.
angry. I'm doing too
Right.
many things at one time for touch screens. I put
No,
them in my arm and my boob breaks it. My freaking pocket calls the police. Like, I don't like touch screens. I miss buttons. So if
no.
I'm
I,
going
I
really
was
fast and I'm I have really bad spelling, I'm sorry.
no. It's okay. I was talking to Grizz earlier because we were talking about what we wanted to do tonight, and she was talking about speaking to you and making sure we're all set for tonight. And I was reading through it, and I told Grizz, I said, "Man, I have to have my Google to Kranweis English." So we used. I called your your typing, your texting. Yes, I gave it a label. It's called Kranweis.
For sure, because my autocorrect hates me. My autocorrect hates me.
Yeah,
I say
I
it's
got
my
you.
fat fingers, like FAT, PHT, sorry, PHT, fat fingers. I got fat fingers, and they go like.
No,
And if
it's
I'm
it's
doing other
totally
things,
fine.
and like, and there's a kid, and I'm like, I'm driving, and there's things like, hell, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Like I said, I didn't want to throw you under the bus. I thought I would let you know that we gave your everybody here is old school. Hey, I'm old school as well.
I
You miss
miss
buttons.
buttons also.
How about the rotary dial? We definitely got to miss that. To,
I
to
love
dial
it,
a
seriously.
to
Yep,
dial a seven number, it took us almost 10 minutes to get that damn thing to go back.
yep,
Remember?
yep.
Dial a six and dial a six again, and it took ten
So
minutes for you to make a call.
So listen, like, I was raised by older people too, though. So even for my generation, like, I have a little bit extra older because like my mom was in her middle 30s, mid 30s when she was having children, which for her age group was really old. And then like
Oh,
I have 6 years difference between me and my sister. So it's like I was always around like people of like quite different generations, you know what I mean? Like it's so
6 years
interesting
is
now
a
as an
long
adult
time.
because now all the new generations, right? Like it's so contrasting.
6 years is a long time. I mean, there's 5 years between myself and my younger sister, and we told her she was the oopsie child. Because my parents were a little up there in age, and we're like, oopsie, we're
Yeah.
gonna have another child, right?
Well, my parents tried to have me actually. They tried to start having trying for me 1 year after my sister was born, and I actually didn't come along for 5 years. And that is
Hmm.
something that has always stuck with me since a very small child. And it's actually really like saved my life. Like when I've been in my dire like depressions and like suicide, I could never, because I understood that in 5 years my parents used no contraceptives, had no miscarriages, and 60, I think it's like 5 times 12 is like 60. I could have been
Yes.
60 different combinations of people, male, female, or completely different person. And I came 5 years later. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Yeah.
and if they had had another baby before that 5 years, they wouldn't have tried more. Like they had no intentions of trying for more. So I know
Mm.
I was meant to be here since I was young. I've always had that grounding that no matter how low I've gotten in my life, I could never actually, because from a young age, I appreciated that that's how many different people I could have been. I don't know what I'm
Okay.
here completely for, but like I know I'm supposed to be here. I shouldn't leave. Like just that part. Even sometimes when I really want to. Okay, guys, please don't think I don't like ever get there. But I've never ever been able to because that has always been my base.
So let me ask you then. We talk a little bit about your spiritual work. Talk a little about your horticulture side. Um, I know two things, and let me back up just a second. You said you look for things on Google, online.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as the old adage goes, whatever you find on Google is absolutely true. And we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at
Okay,
that.
okay. I'll add to that just so you know is that in college I took a whole course 1 semester on discerning information. And
Mm,
so I took a class that taught me how to tell what information was accurate and what wasn't on the internet and in dictionaries, like, or not dictionaries, but like in print media, in all sorts of things. So we studied how to differentiate. So I don't listen to
discernment,
just the Google for the whatever. I go and take the pool and then I
I got
go
you.
through it.
Discernment is actually a gift as well. It's a spiritual. And I know in the Christianity faith, discernment is one of the spiritual gifts that you can have. When I was an active Christian,
Right.
one of the things that I was told I was gifted with was discernment, knowing the difference between good and bad,
Yeah.
knowing the difference between right and wrong, knowing when people are being authentic and genuine or not.
Yeah. And
And
like I have discernment, but I'm sure there's times like when I'm not tired, when I'm tired or I'm not paying attention, or I'm busy, then I'm not using great discernment. But it is something to me that in my life I've been fortunate enough to have education, even like training in some of my jobs and things like that that have really helped develop those skills to be able, and I've been able to use that. Like my dad always taught me how to transfer my skills. Like, okay, well you did it over there. Why are you saying you can't do this? You know, when you're trying to do this new thing, what other things have you done like it? And he would make me like try to figure shit out before he would just tell me. And then he would take me from there and guide through. So he gave me an engineering brain, but he didn't give me enough skills to do it myself, you know? That's why I
yeah,
say I'm a
yeah.
Jill of all trades, not a master of anything, because it's like I'm usually assisting people when I'm doing these things. A lot of those things I've not done just on my own, completely from scratch. You know what I mean? So,
So let me ask you this then, and
mhm.
this is the first time I'm doing this in a while. I used to do
Okay.
this when we were back on Periscope.
Okay.
If you had 3 words to describe who Cran is, what would it be? 3 words.
Hmm.
And
Let's
while you're
see.
thinking of that, I'm going to answer some of the questions
Okay.
from the comments. So we have some new viewers here. I am Warrior Grandma. I like that name. I'm going to make sure I follow you. And Walter says, my oldest sister was 20 years older than me, and the next sister is 6 years older than me. That's a huge difference. So Walter's probably right in the middle. That's my guess.
See, it was much more common, I guess, like, you know, for children to be more squared out and stuff because we had more children, I guess, back in the day.
Well, I don't want to say in the olden days, but in the days before me, before I was an adult,
I was born in the
maybe in my
golden age.
parents' generation or even before that, everything was more to them. It seemed like it was just black and white for them. There
Yeah.
was no options. There were no alternatives like we have now with the internet, like the connecting of people throughout the world and all this. But everything was black and white for them. It was either a yes or no. It was either go here or go there.
They had a very good understanding that in order to have their joy in life, they had to sacrifice in life. And that doesn't mean like cutting themselves or torturing themselves. It meant like I'm going to do this hard work right now so I can have that fun later. Today's
Right.
generation says, I'm going to have all the fun and I'll pay for it later. And
Right.
then they go
Right.
later and they're like, why is my life such shit? And I'm so heavy and I'm so burdened and I'm so down and now I can't have any fun. Well, because you had 100% fun and now you got 100% pay it back. Whereas our families, like my mother's family and stuff, they understood that as a family, I'm not going to get that beautiful dream house to birth my child in. I might be in an apartment for the first year. I might be in a small 2-bedroom house for a year or two. And then, you know, when the child's 9, I'm going to get a bit bigger property. And then in high school, I'm going to get our dream. You know, like our family's generations, like they understood that what they put in now is what benefited them later. What our generations now do is give it to me all right now. I deserve the best of the best because I went to school or because I worked 40 hours. So I should have the TV looking, you know, rooms and furniture and car and house, and I'm the crap. Well, yeah, you're 25 or 30. Well, what are you going to do when you're 40 and 50? Like, and you have kids and there's other things to pay for, or there's other like you're supposed to, so it's a give and take. Like somebody told me that if you have a really easy child, like young world, then you pay for it later. If you have a really hard when you're young, you usually have a good when you're older. These are very general. Please don't get mad at me about anything. Okay, there's always exceptions to the rules, guys. Everything that I say, there's always exceptions to the rules, but that's like a little chunk. We're talking about the bigger, you know, mass or
Right.
balance of things, right?
Right.
But the internet changed everything. It's not even that. It's like it's fast food. It's like how people like do business. It's the education system. Like if you look at our education system, it used to be based off of academia. Now it's based off of response base. It's not telling you how to think or figure it out. It's telling you just respond when we go ding. And so those things are contributing to, you know, us not being able to, we're always giving into our temptations. That's what it is. Temptations are thrown in our face, and we're not taught the value of not giving in to every single temptation that we have, whether it be sex, porn, drugs, alcohol, dancing, the gym, hiking, racing cars. It doesn't matter. There's 1,000 things. Like it can all
Yeah, you're
become
just
addictive.
describing all of my temptations right there.
TV, video games, ice
Yeah.
cream, candy, cartoons, dressing up. Like basically our world has like saturated all friggin' temptations, but not taught us how to not give in to those temptations. It's not you shouldn't do those things, okay? I really want you to know, I'm not saying anybody should not do any of those things. It's those things shouldn't control you. You need to be doing the bigger of the experience of life than they are of your life. And that's all I'm meaning is that there's a value of being like, my so-and-so is getting married on a Friday, but I'm addicted to the gym. And Friday at 5 p.m., I always go to the gym. I cannot go early that day. I'm at the gym and I'll see you after. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the temptation. I am giving into that temptation. That thing now owns me, not I control it. I'm not saying I want anybody to suffer or not enjoy the beautiful things that our world all has to offer. That's not what I mean. I'm meaning when they start superseding your abilities to do anything else, like interacting with other people, especially. That's one big thing. Like, I don't care if your hockey game is on at whatever time. If there's like there's something at the movies I want to see, or our friends are having a dinner party or whatever, like that's the priority, you know, not the hockey game. So this is all I mean is that our world is more saturated towards just give in, just give in. You deserve it. You're entitled. You're special. Nobody else. You just give it. Just take it. It's all yours. Just do it. Just do it. And it's short-term fun.
Well,
No real
Mary
long-term gain.
Mystery, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, her name
Oh
correctly.
yes, very.
Fairy
Hello.
Mystery, she said it was instant gratification, which
Yeah, and it
is
comes in all
very,
sorts of forms.
and it's temporary. It's that's the thing.
Well,
Instant
it can be
gratification is
permanent.
temporary.
It can be
Can
permanent,
it?
but like, what else will your life be? Like, you could permanently sit at home and 24 hours a day, you could watch porn.
That's true.
There's
Yep,
nobody. There's no problem. You could do that. You could
that's
do
true.
that. Well, but in 20 years from now, who's sitting there with you, or what else have you done? Or who's going to take care of you because you've been sitting in the house alone?
Mm.
So it's not about us doing what we want to do or not doing what we want to do. Again, I'm a Libra, so I'm always seeking balance, right? And I think but I think that's beneficial to other people because we live in a very unbalanced world, right? Like,
True.
if
True.
you go to work, okay, but then there's a twist of this. Like in the Canadian and American society, it's like go to work all week and do things you don't want to do and suffer, suffer, suffer. And then on the weekend, be crazy, be crazy. So we have this really like, work hard, party hard. And it's like, where's the relax though? Where's the
Yeah.
down? Because we're supposed to ebb and flow, and that's nature is like this. But if we're always like, at work, party, work. And then we're like, oh my God, people are so stressed out and grumpy and they're so selfish and they're so traumatized and they're getting sick earlier and they're dying younger and they're getting diseases by the mess. Well, yeah. But yeah, because we're running a machine, not how it's designed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I like that. So let's get back to your 3 words that describes
Thanks,
you
Jay.
best.
Okay. I'm going to say loving, determined, and resourceful.
Determined, okay, and resourceful. I'm writing these down, by the way.
I'm going to say, what's that?
I'm
So say
writing
it
it
again.
down.
Oh, okay.
Writing it down. I like that. Determined. Okay, I can see determined, resourceful. Now, that word in particular. I remember we did a live maybe a couple weeks ago, and you were outside. It was late in the morning, early in the
Yeah.
morning, I should say, and we talked about how you would find things in your home that you could use for others to possibly do a repair in their home. I can see that resourcefulness in Grant.
Yeah. So a friend of mine said that she channeled and got that, like my past life, like all my lives, that like my purpose or whatever is to record all the things. And so she said she saw me in this giant book and I was like this little tiny fae and I had a big feather and I was like writing like crazy and flipping the page and like writing all the information. And that's what I am. I'm a collector. I'm a collector of information and ideas and things like this. But I
That's
also
such a
kind of do it
Gemini
in,
trait, though.
yeah, I kind of do it physically in my 3D life too, kind of like Tinkerbell. I don't know if anybody knows the Tinkerbell shows, but like they have the tinkerers, and the tinkerers are the ones who like fix things or invent things because they've got all these bits and bobbins and they look like they're scattered and you look at their mess and you're like, what the heck is all that? But then, oh, they made this thing or your thing broke and wow, they've got this little thing that does it. So I find that I'm like that. I collect things in the world that I'm drawn to and I'll be like, I could use it for this, or maybe somebody else will use it, and I won't know what it's for, but I will collect it. And I have this basket of stuff, and then I'll meet people along the road and in my life, and they're like, "Oh my God, if I could just da da da," and I'm like, "Oh well, I got, I might have this. Let me look. I might have this. Maybe this will work if you do this or that. What do you think?" And they're like, "What the fuck?" So in my life, people have been like, you're a bag lady and your house is trashy and all of this shit. They've dissed me and put me down and laid me all kinds of things. But it's really honestly come in handy so many times. And I've helped people in these moments when it was like the weirdest things happen and they're up against it. And it's just like, I love just being like, oh, here. And they're like, oh my God, I just went from like, I have no clue what I'm going to do or how did this weird thing happen? And you just fixed it. Like, who are you? I don't even like, where'd you come from? And I'm like, I don't know, but love ya. Like, have a good day. And I just, off I go. And so
You're
I
like the
call it
female
working in the
version.
random. It's my magic is in the random.
Working in the random. I like that. You're like the female version of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I don't know. No, because I tell you to look behind the green screen. No, I'm gonna twerk that one a bit because I'm like, look behind the green
Yeah, go
screen.
behind the curtain. Look, go and talk to the man behind the curtain. I
Go,
got you.
go.
Yeah,
He knows. Go.
yeah. Go ahead, pull it back, and now you go talk to him. Go talk to him. So, can I ask you a question? Because
Yes.
I've been asking you questions all night. But can
Of
I
course,
ask
of
you a
course.
question? Um,
Sure, Jake. Of course
besides
you can.
besides a client, as a client, when do you feel, um, what's the right word? When do you feel drawn to do a reading for a person?
To reading?
Yeah.
Sorry, say the ending again.
When do
When
you
do I
feel
feel
like you're
drawn?
to do a reading for a person? So out of the blue, a total stranger or someone online that says, "Hey, wait a minute, fairy misery. I want you to call in. I want you to get I want you to get an oracle card. I really believe you need a guidance card." When do you feel that that's something that you need to do? Are you called to do something like that at times, or is it only
Um,
client based?
no, no, no. I don't really. I've had maybe just like I've had a small amount of clients. This is just something I do. And if people ask to do it, I do it. Sometimes I just go on and try to do it. Sometimes I'm just doing it for nobody in the world, like everybody in the world, like nobody I've ever actually met or whatever. Um, like I can even be in the store, like in a grocery store, and hear someone talking, and I just something comes to me that needs to be said, and I will just say it to them and just keep
I
going.
see.
Like
I see.
again, this is what I mean by like the magic and the random. Like I am very random. I don't have any. I try not to have tight lines. Expansion doesn't come when it's this way and only this way. I'm more of like every situation has a way. Like, do you know what I mean? And then I just
Yep. Yep.
combine my experiences to figure the way in that. I don't like, so like maybe in another situation, I would maybe follow this line, but things in could change in a different situation that would make me respond differently. And some people have seen me as being, oh, you're inconsistent, you can't be trusted, and blah blah blah. It's like, no, I work from ethics, and I work from a toolbox, and I try not to judge what's coming at me based on what I've had, and that's because of my traumas. Because I have judged people based on my traumas, on my past experiences, and that has limited their growth as well as mine.
I see. Okay.
So I try very much to have more like general morals. I don't try to do, or principles. And
I
I try to
gotcha.
customize all the situations to the situations. I think that also comes in from my plant knowledge because I understand that I could grow, like I would have a crop of 300 plants. They all had the same soil. They all had the same container. They all got pretty close to the same amount of light, the same fertilizer. They were the same genetics, but there was always a percentage that did whatever the heck they wanted, regardless of what I did. And so I think for me, that's really stuck in my brain that I need to take that when I'm meeting people because they're living beings. Yes, they may show me patterns that other people have done. That may trigger me. I may respond not great to that, but I try to pay attention to that and say, hey, wait, you know what? Is that all yours? Or like, did you mean that? Or like, am I just not understanding because of my other experiences? I'm
Hmm.
not a
Hmm.
perfect at this, okay? I'm not going to claim perfection. Knowing and doing two different things. Again, this is why we can heal others even when we're not completely healed, because we can know what we're trying to do and still be stuck in patterns because there's physical and there's spiritual and they work in different ways, right?
Yeah. And now you said that word twice. Perfect or perfection. You said it twice tonight. So I guess for us to do the type of work that we like doing, we have a passion for in helping others, I believe we have to have some kind of imperfection in order
Well,
to
well, yes,
relate to
because if
others.
we have an ego, how would we help them? If we think we're
Exactly.
superior to them, how are they going to trust us?
Exactly. Exactly.
We
I
need
think
to
it
find
makes us
ways to
more
relate and
relatable.
connect.
Exactly. I was
That
just
lets
saying that.
guards down. that
Yeah.
that's where people can say, okay, I just responding to what you just said, I'm triggered.
Right.
I can identify that I'm being triggered. It's not all yours. I don't see you as intentionally trying to hurt me, but boy, my body says, woo, I'm gonna like
Yeah.
get you, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, learning to talk and learning to communicate and advocate for myself has been my biggest goal, win, like seriously saved me in a lot of situations, because a lot of people get mad that I talk and I talk too much, but I think people talk too little, and maybe I wouldn't have to talk so much if other people did. So,
Mm,
maybe we would all understand things better if we actually open our mouths and discuss them. The texting thing is kind of dwindled that away because our brains will say the full sentence and then we type out the little
right.
pieces to try to make it fast, but then we're leaving out some of the context
Lost in
and
transition,
then we're
lost in
losing
translation.
connection. So
Yeah,
actually, if you want to have a really serious or long term or long, in-depth conversation in texting, you actually have to do more work than using your mouth. If you're texting just like, hey, I'm late from the bus, pick me up at 9, okay? Texting's cool for that in fast and in short. But if you really want to actually communicate via text, you have to use more words than if you spoke it to the person.
yeah. I believe though that, and I've said this a couple times in some past live streams, that I think because of technology, it's made the communication between humans a lot easier, but there is so much lost in the translation, and also I think at this point
We don't take
we've
time to
forgotten how
understand.
to use we've forgotten how to use the gift of communication, of one-to-one communication, like we're doing
And
tonight.
yet, we have more supports, knowledge, and understanding to communicate now than
Right.
ever.
Exactly.
But we're lazy or we're extremely busy. And those are the two things we all sort of play through. And
Right.
and that's the thing is that, it's like, yeah, a lot of times it's like if you just put in like sometimes it's like people are like, we just keep talking, just keep talking, just talking. Well, like that's because the information that I'm getting is vague.
Mm.
It doesn't have a lot of context. So if you were able to actually formulate really directly what you have to say, that person goes, "Oh, okay, like I got this picture now." Not sort of I get this and this and then I'm missing things and I misunderstand because I'm interpreting and filling
Right.
in. I'm filling in the pieces. And so I always try to encourage people ask questions. Ask questions, get curious. And if
Yeah.
somebody's upset at you for asking a question, that's a shut off person. And they're not even open to themselves at that point. Um, but questions is how you really resolve a lot of communication. It's sort of something that's not listed anymore. Like if somebody
Right.
says something to me and I'm triggered, I try to be like, uh, okay, I'm not really great with this in my very intimate relationships. I'm going to say that because I still get easily triggered in those. But I try very much to ask a question like, did you mean this and this? And the person be like, no, I was trying to say this. And it's like, oh my God, okay, I'm sorry. I totally took it like this. Or they'll say, yeah, that is. And then I'm like, okay, then that is really what you're saying. So I'm going to really address that. You know what I mean?
I like
So
what
you're
Stacy
fine.
just said. Communication is poetry. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. So
Yeah, that's it.
obviously, there is way more to cram than the I and Instagram really shows. Obviously,
Of
because
course,
there are
but this is the truth for everybody, guys. For everybody.
there is more I'd like to maybe go in depth with you on a round two to have you come
Okay.
back as our guest. Let me ask: would you possibly like to invite someone to call in and maybe give them an oracle card specifically, or would you rather do a group? Because I really have a person in mind, and she's here tonight, and actually
I
I
don't
haven't seen her.
I don't mind taking a list, but
No, not a list. One,
oh, you just want me to take one?
just one. Yep,
Okay.
I have the person in mind already, and
Okay.
if she's willing to do it, I would love for her to call in
Okay. And
because
if
she's here
anybody else
tonight.
wants to, they can message me and I'll send. No problem.
Okay, let's do that first.
Okay.
Where can they find you, Cran? Where can they message you? What is the best way?
So Kranweis underscore mercantile.
Okay, and that's
That's
on
I
Instagram.
think that's the best place for readings because that's my focus on that page is trying to do it there.
Okay, we
You
can
might
share
get
that.
lost on the other page.
No, actually, I kind of like both, but I can see, like I said, there's this duality to Cran. I can see this personal side of Cran, which is a lot more intimate, and there is this more business related, more spiritual type work person on your Cranwise. So your Cranwise underscore mercantile.
Yeah.
Okay, now would you like to also share any donation links for anyone who's here tonight that might
If
want
they want to,
to
I think
show
it's
some
on
love?
my bio, but it's PayPal me/Kranweis.
Okay, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and share that as well because we
Awesome.
usually have a follow-up post and we'll put that all inside there if that's
I'm
okay.
like, but just so everybody knows, like donation is not a requirement for a message from Spirit. If after
Thank you,
you
Grizz.
receive your message, you feel inclined to donate, you do what you feel intend to do.
Yeah,
But there's no requirement from me.
right.
Oh, but like if I'm busy, I'll tell you, like I'm busy, I got to do it at such and such time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we got to work together. But
Right.
like there's no expectations, guys.
Thank
We
you,
want to
Grizz, for
help.
doing that. And Wade, welcome, Wade. Good to see you, brother. Guys, if you don't know, Bearded Dynasty, he was also one of Kelly's mods. His name is Wade. He's joining us from mid Middle East, Mid East,
Wow. Nice.
somewhere around there.
Welcome.
So I have one person in mind. I don't know if there's something you would need to do to prepare, but if she's willing to, I know I see her tonight, and I've missed this woman. I've missed this lady. She is such a beautiful soul. She has one of the best outlooks and the coolest hairs I've ever seen in a long time. Stacy, that's right. I'm talking about you. If you are still here, would you mind calling in? May I invite you to call in? And don't go feel like you have to go get your hair all
Oh no, I was
loosened
just
up and put
scratching.
on you.
I was just
No,
scratching.
not
I
you.
got pins in.
Not you, but Stacy. I'm talking about Stacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
you
don't
do okay.
I don't want her to feel like she's got to go get
I
her hair
knew it
all
was
gooped
me.
up and all that. You knew it was you. Good. Glad to hear.
Stacy reads cards too.
I know she does. We're gonna have her on as a guest. She just doesn't know it yet. Absolutely. Let's do this. All right, Stacy, let's go. Go ahead and
Okay.
call in, Stacy. Let's see. Hmm, there was
Oh
a
my god,
Robert.
I melt. my.
Let's see. Dang it.
Also, I'm a dirty smoker, everybody. So you might see me online smoking sometimes. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that smoking habit of yours.
Well, one is my medicine because I have a high. What is it? Generalized anxiety or high anxiety, generalized depression, and CPTSD undiagnosed. But hi, Stacey.
Hi guys.
Love
Oh, you're
you.
talking. You're talking about the good stuff. That's what you're talking about.
That's my medicine for sure.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Lady, welcome. It's good to see your beautiful face again.
It's so good to be here.
I've
Love
missed
you,
you.
honey.
I've missed you.
So, I don't know how you want to do your reading. I'm going to leave this portion up to you, Cran.
Okay,
Hey,
Stacey.
Butcha.
I have crystal. I have a crystal deck. I have angel messages. I have romance angels, fairies, and angels of Atlantis.
Crystals. I think crystals is pretty pretty fitting for me.
I really like the way the messages are written in this one. It was almost, I got it before the language sort of hit the world. And I was like, yeah, I like this way this one's written. Oh, I just threw stones on the
Which one
ground.
is
Sorry.
it?
Here, I'll
Which
show
one
you
is
one
it,
sec. I
Cran?
just totally, there was things inside the bag that probably shouldn't have been inside the bag. Because I
Yeah,
travel around
it's
and I
her
have things.
33 decks that she travels with. That's
There's
why.
there's Tostitos. Have you had crackers today? We had salsa and chips. Anybody? I'm like, I got salsas and chips here on my plate.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
I
That's one
know.
of my
I'm like,
go-to like foods, so
is it okay? Well, there you go. It's in
yeah.
your cards right now.
You want to see my go-to, Stacy? I'll show you my go-to. This is my go-to. See it?
Yep, I see it.
Salted
You're like a
caramel.
Salted caramel.
connoisseur. Yeah, you're a connoisseur. That sounds good.
It does
Oh,
sound good. I love caramel.
I'm gonna have a glass tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I wish I
sounds
had
good.
wine. Oy vey.
And then we maybe one night we'll get real crazy and do a
Yeah.
drunken tarot reading for somebody or something like
I
that.
think so.
That would be
Yes.
fun.
Can we play a drinking game?
You don't want to play with me.
Yes, I
I
do.
need
I
more than one.
remember, and I'm fine. I'm Irish, Scottish. I'm German and
Ooh.
Pennsylvania Dutch. I can drink with the best of them. I can fight with the best of them, and I want to rule the world. So I'm
Well,
gonna, I can do it.
you don't want to play with that kind of game with me because I don't have enough whiskey tonight.
You
I
ain't no
need another
wine.
bottle.
It's fine. I'm
Yeah,
safe.
exactly.
I'm safe.
All right, I'm gonna shut up. It's your turn, Fran. And Stacey, it's
Okay,
good to see you.
Stacey, this is the
Good to
one.
see you too.
It's the Crystal Allies.
Okay, I don't have that one. So
So I don't need to know a question. I don't need to know. I can sometimes know a subject because I can pick a spread for it. But if we're just pulling a card, you can just focus on whatever, or we can do general. So
yeah,
basically,
just general.
yeah, okay. You know, I do my thing. You know my things, Miss Stacy.
Yes.
Okay,
Hi,
so we're
Kristen.
looking for a message for Stacy. We ask that it be honest, clear, and true. Message from the Crystal Allies, what she needs to know today. We ask it to be something that she resonates to, that she understands, to help empower and move her life forward, to have the life she loves, the life she dreams of, the life she deserves. Again, we
Like
want it to be
falling in
honest,
love
clear, and true.
again.
We want it to be honest, clear, and true. What message the Crystal Allies have for Stacy today? Whoop, whoop. I need a basket. That's what my nanny used to always say when we shuffled and threw him on the floor. You get your basket. Ooh. Oh, I'm an old lady.
Oh
Okay,
gosh.
we got a jumper, and it says dreams or sugalite. Sugalite?
Sugar
Sugalite?
lights. Yeah.
Okay, and the other one that I picked for you is self-knowledge, lapis lazuli. Which, do I have a piece of lapis? Oh, no, I don't. I just have sodalite and labradorite. Okay. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it. Ooh, this won't be smooth printing. Okay. All right. So I'll touch you. Just to show you the card, and then I'll read the card because, you know.
Yeah.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah. Yep. I can see it.
So
I like it.
that's the jumper. So your spirits that are with you, they sent that message through me today, and they took advantage of this moment. And this is the card that I pulled for you, which is self-knowledge and the lapis lazuli. And the picture, like, there's really not much to it. It's literally a moon.
Yeah. No,
Like,
but I can see it. And
I
I
didn't
like
want you
that
to think
too.
it was just so dark that you were not allowed to see the photo.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put you back in here.
That card, if I may interject real quick, I keep seeing this. That card literally is a snapshot of Stacy. If you were to put her in the center of a room with 10,000 people, all dressed the same, the one person that would stand out would be Stacy.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's what I'm seeing. Just like the moon, the one person, the one thing that would stand out in the darkness would be Stacy.
Oh my gosh. Wow, Luca. Thank you. That.
Well, I don't need to add anything. You already know I love in all your pieces and things. I love you. All the things are true. All the things he said are true. I'll just say yes. Okay, 2:35. Okay.
Man, I've missed you guys.
I know we missed you too. But you were doing your warrior work. I know it didn't feel like it, but it was.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
Let it out. That's how our physical body heals our trauma. That it's stored in our fascia muscles. Remember the fascia between our muscles? That's where we store our emotions when we hold it and we don't fill through. So our water goes and pulls that through our 3D. It helps our 5D. I love you, baby girl. Don't worry, okay? If you want to go down, like, you can do that too, okay? Like, you're totally free to do whatever you choose. I'm going to continue on anyway.
No, I'm good.
Okay. This ally is indicating to you, okay, sorry, we're reading, sorry, I better tell you which one first. I'm being terrible. Okay, so for lapis, which is self-knowledge, this ally is indicating to you that a time of intense spiritual learning is at hand. This is a period of initiation into the mysteries of the workings of the infinite. When lapis lazuli appears, you can be sure that your guides and guiding angels are preparing you a period of growth and enhanced understanding of your path and purpose on the earth plane. This learning may reveal to you aspects of yourself that were previously unknown to you. Accept this new understanding with joy, for it indicates a new level of spiritual maturity. And I feel other people are going to be telling you about what these special things are, just so you know. So listen to other people. Don't brush us off. We know what we're talking about. We love you. So lapis may also be indicating to you that you need to do some soul searching. Are you living the life you would choose for yourself? Are your behaviors and creations matching who you know yourself to be? Take stock of your inner gifts, beliefs, and desires. Then ask for the energy of lapis to aid you in manifesting your true potential on the earth's plane. You know what your gifts are. You just took a pause. You didn't forget. You're all right. Okay, so the chakra is your third eye and your crown. Okay, so Stacy, if you're going to do a meditation, I want you to take some of your lapis and I want you to put it here and lay down and meditate, okay? You can use like your clear crystals, your quartz crystals, if you feel like lining it or your voice, you know, because you want to reopen your voice again, so you can use it on the throat chakra.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that's just what came to me. I'm not an expert on crystals either, guys. I'm just relaying what I'm getting.
No, but you're
Affirmation.
accurate.
Affirmation is, I open to divine understanding. I open to divine understanding. I open to divine understanding. So for affirmations, just for everybody, Stacy already knows my prescription, but I usually suggest to people that you do it twice a day, which is morning and night, at least twice a day for 14 days. Okay. Now, if you can do it more than 14 days and more than twice a day, you're going to increase the vibration and the power of that manifestation. Okay. But do what you can. Don't beat yourself up. If you miss a day, get back on. All right? It's not linear. It's not linear. You can pick up where you left off. The energy doesn't go anywhere. It'll come down with you and it'll go back up, okay? Yeah, just keep tracking. All right. Okay, so then we'll do the other one is dreams, which is sugilite. Sugilite. I say it wrong. But anyway. Forgive me.
It's a beautiful stone too, and interestingly, I've been drawn to it very much lately. So
I feel like it's the piece actually that fell on the floor. Did you hear when I opened my things? I dropped a stone on the floor, but I didn't get it because I don't know where it is. It's dark right now.
Oh, really?
But I'll look after and see if it was that one because it might have been.
It's a pricey stone.
Yeah, if mine is a lower quality, so it won't look as pretty. But yeah, you can get the still similar vibration. That's another thing with like stones and crystals. A lot of people think I have to spend all this money on the big, beautiful, prime specimens. But even if you get a little corner of it that's not as pretty or whatever, you can still harness
That's
that
what
energy.
I was told. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a big crystal. That little crystal gives off a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But I am going to say, if you're a big spiritual worker, if you're a serious energy worker, like major open freaking channel, and you're working with technology, go with bigger crystals.
That's what she said. That's what she said. Go with bigger crystals. That's what she said.
Because the tech, I'm telling you, the energy of the tech can really suck things and really twist things. So if you're finding you're doing readings and stuff or energy work online and there's interference, you might want to surround your phone and yourself with like more crystals or bigger crystals so they can handle that load.
Got it. Yeah. That's what she said. So she can handle that load. That's what she said.
Somebody else I know talk like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up. I'm ruining her. I'm ruining her reading. I'm sorry.
I used to work in male-dominant industries, I used to work in factories and male-dominant.
I am male dominant, but I do have my female side every now and then.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to shut up.
Well balanced.
Ooh,
I can be.
yes.
I can be. Go
I
ahead.
would love that, Grizz. Yes, thank you.
Okay, it says the Sugilite appears as your ally. It is calling you to place your trust in divine purpose and follow your heart's dreams. You are given your desires as a signal light on your path. I love that. Like the things you desire are like an indication of like the things that you're supposed to be here to do. Maybe not it specifically or the first thing you're drawn to, but like there'll be something that it leads to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Say so you're given your desires as signal lights on your path. If you have a desire to do something other than what you are doing, follow your inner guidance and find a way to explore your dream. Every event that occurs in your life is a creation that allows you to take a step forward on your path or back, guys. Don't forget that. We're still creating even when we go
Mm-hmm.
backwards. When you follow your heart's dreams, you will always have the motivation and drive to follow your innermost heart on your path. This is not to say that you should quit your job today and move out of town. Of course, if this seems appropriate, follow it. But if you open your heart and your life to make more room for your dream to take root, the universe will send the appropriate experiences and opportunities your way. We call this a side hustle nowadays. That's the trendy term.
Mm.
If you start doing what you love in small ways today, you signal to the divine that you are prepared to take action upon your dreams. The chakra, again, is your crown. So you need to lay and meditate with that stone on your yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmation. I follow my dreams to my highest good. I follow my dreams to my highest good. And I follow my dreams to the highest good. Don't let those fears in. You tell them shush. They got the
Yes.
back seat.
Yeah.
It's the good guy's turn at the front now.
That was beautiful.
Uh, yeah,
Stacey,
that accurate, very accurate.
I have to say, Spirit is telling me to say something to you.
Okay.
There are people that were in your life at one point, maybe recently, maybe not, but were in your life that maybe muted who you were as a person, as a woman,
Yeah.
as a mom,
Yeah.
and that these people who were in your life and didn't have your highest good for reasons unknown.
I know
I don't
why.
think it's negative reasons, but these people, they will not be in your life for the
Going
rest of your
forward.
life for to cause more hurt, more anger, more anxiety, more anguish.
That's right. I feel that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And that the reason, and I've said this on our first stream, that everything happens for a reason. There's no coincidence. You being here tonight is
Amen.
not a coincidence.
Nope.
Everything
Yeah.
has a purpose. Every purpose is driven.
Yeah.
And you being able to join us tonight, as soon as you joined us, Stacy, Spirit already said, I need to get Stacy online. I need to get Stacy up for the beginning. And when we first started talking to Cran, and the whole time when Cran is talking, I can
Oh.
audibly hear her. I can understand what she's saying. I'm taking notes. I'm one of those note takers, so you know I've been taking notes
Yeah,
like
Yeah, no,
three
that's
pages
cool.
of notes,
Yeah.
I do
and, and,
too. I'm the
and
same
at the
way.
same time, Spirit is telling me, all right, we got to get Stacy up there. There's something Stacy
Mm-hmm.
needs to hear, and this is it right here. What you're reading, your cards, the crystals, that dream card for me,
Mm-hmm.
boom, that was the stamp right there. That was validation that Spirit wanted you here for me tonight anyway. That you
Honey,
are that moon in the
you
darkness.
put your dreams on hold to be a warrior. Warriors make
Yeah.
sacrifices, but that time that you spent and the energy that you put into that fight, it drained you, but the amount of good it did, I call it is it emancipation? Um, I'm going to give an example. At the beginning of CVID, sorry, be careful.
Mm-hmm.
I was following a gentleman who was working on rescuing an elephant. And he walked us through the whole process of him trying to buy this elephant from people who had chained this elephant its whole life to a tree.
Oh,
Okay, and so the
Oh.
the guy rescued this animal and took it to greener pastures. And in that experience, I was like, I'm so thankful that you did this, and I need you to know that the emancipation of that animal has raised the love level for the whole world. The healing you did for that animal, like say it only has 2 years left of its life or whatever, or 2 months or 2 hours, you changed the energy on the planet Earth. That animal's emancipation changed the Earth's energy. So when you
Wait a
free
minute.
an animal or you free a human, it's all of us benefiting.
Forgive
That's
me,
deep.
Fran. Wait a minute. That story, it has something to do with Stacy as well,
Yeah, that's what
about
I
her being
mean.
changed.
Like she went to
Okay,
battle, and
okay.
it's like
I've
it was a
seen this.
sacrifice in that time of her dream and of herself. But I want her to know that that's done now, and that energy went out to
Okay, got
improve
it.
the world.
Got it.
And that's
Yeah.
why she's back on track now to being told that she's got to get back onto her dreams, because that's the reward. See, she
Got it.
didn't give in to the temptation of I'm just going to run from it. She fought
Right.
it to
Yeah.
stop it from spreading. And it
Mhm.
came to her at a cost to her. And people in this world are not willing to take a personal sacrifice to better the world. And when I see someone do it, I want to scream and shout yay and remind them of what they have given. And that now it's okay to take for themselves. And now it's okay to focus on yourself. And now it's okay to be
Yeah.
selfish again. And now it's okay to tone the
Yeah.
focus here. Because then once you're healing you and you're getting your dream, you're going to then start flowing and putting that energy back out to others in a positive way again. So see, this is the ebb and the flow. We get into this, oh my gosh, it's too selfish. You know, I got to do my kids. I got to take care of
Yep.
people. Nope, this is
Mhm.
your turn.
Mhm.
You're
Yep.
on the up now. This is your turn. You
Yeah.
will flow again later. You will flow back down again later. Take care of the kids and the people and the things. But oh no. Yeah. Okay.
I
And
love
don't
that.
feel
I
bad
love that.
about that. Don't feel bad
I
Can
about
love
I?
the
that.
break you took. Don't feel bad about that part or about getting it back, girl.
Yeah. Can I share a little bit about it?
Yeah.
Like what it is?
It's up to you, Stacey. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because it's always hard to like, be in the viewer section, and it comes across cryptically, and I think it's been so hard. I had a stalker on Periscope, and he, like, it was very serious. He was sentenced to federal prison last March, and that fight was brutal. Like it was brutal, and he messed with so many people before me, and I refused to let it be going on after me. Like I just could not. I couldn't stand the thought of it continuing with anybody else, and it took because I was so comfortable on camera, and that was my happy place, and my people were there, and my money was there, my jewelry, doing my jewelry. It
Yes, I do.
just took a part of me. Well, Periscope ended, COVID started. Am I not supposed to say that? Started, and
Don't worry,
Sometimes.
we're not monetized here yet. We're not
okay.
monetized yet. Don't worry about that.
See, I'm not up on all this anymore, and going through that whole waiting period of the actual sentencing and stuff, like it took me, and
Nerves.
I'm
It's your
just,
nervous system.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Shot. It's
And
called
so,
shot nerves.
yeah.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it feels good. But when you guys started with me up here, like, I'm also not used to hearing good things about myself anymore. I have been
Amen. Me
surrounded
too.
by some pretty shitty people,
Yes.
and that, it's just it just feels good to be here with you, and I thank you. I'm so grateful.
We love you,
I'm so
honey.
grateful.
You've always
I
been
love you
here.
guys too.
I've always tried to keep tabs on you, make sure you knew that there's a
I
place to
know.
lean if you need.
I'm just going to be real for a second. I'm just going to drop the whole Luca thing, and I'm just going to be real. Because
Get
I
it?
know, Stacy, we spoke about this before. I
Yeah.
remember. And it was some time ago. And I guess I didn't realize how serious it was. I am glad that this person cannot be in your life anymore. That's why I understand now. I understand why. I didn't know the reasons why it wasn't. It didn't feel like a
Yeah.
passing. It just felt like a sudden removal from
Mm-hmm.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that happens when
But
we turn in, right? We're turning in because we're fearful of what we put out is being used against us.
in the I think 2 or 3 years that I've known Stacy, we've messaged each other back and forth a few times. There were times when you were going off and doing your own thing, and I'm very respectful about things like that. I
Yeah.
try not to push myself on anybody. Although
Yeah.
Adults are
I kind
busy.
of like conversations, but
Hmm.
I understand there's certain people like me. I need my downtime. But since
Yeah.
I've met you and I've gotten to know you, you're an incredible, and I'm going to swear. So we're going to delete this out. Editor, delete this out. You're a fucking amazing.
Oh,
The things that I used to see you do on Periscope, the jewelry you created, the mom that you are to your $2. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
giving a reading for your daughters when
hmm.
you were camping,
Camping. Yep.
and I still have the video. I was able
That
to find the video.
that was so amazing, Luca. And I'll never forget it.
I'll be honest, I was never as accurate that night.
Okay.
After that, I've struggled.
Really.
I've gone
You're
through,
gonna
like you, I've gone through my own ups and
yeah.
downs and battles and fights, and I'm in one right now. But I'm not going to let it win. And
Yeah.
just like
It's
you were in a battle, but it took someone as strong, as amazing, as resourceful, as creative as Stacy is to fight this battle and to stop this shit from happening to anybody else. Because it makes me freaking upset that there are such nasty people in this world. And sometimes it makes me lose faith in the whole entire human
yeah.
race. But it's
Yeah.
not the entire race. It's one person. It's that one female. It's that one male that just ruins good stuff for great people. And I freaking hate that shit. I really
Yeah.
do. But
We're not
like I said
sent anything
earlier,
we can't handle,
right.
even if you
And
don't believe it.
Stacy, if it wasn't for you, you stopped it then. For everybody else that was being affected by this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took somebody as brave as you to do that. And you were patient enough to wait. You were willing to fight the battle. It took a toll on you. I can see that now.
Yeah. Definitely.
We're gonna
Because you
fix
don't
that
have
though.
that smile. Exactly.
Yeah.
Stacy doesn't have that smile that I was so drawn to because
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
energy was so awesome.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be alone on the repair either, eh? I know that you felt
Right.
alone in the battle because of the
Uh
kind of battle that it was, but you're
yeah.
not alone in the rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some beautiful people in this room, Stacy. I invite you to reach out to them. Our guest tonight, Cran, of course, she's amazing. I've had the best time tonight. I can say that much.
Korean is amazing.
You
Thanks,
got
guys.
beautiful people who's willing to communicate with you or just say a kind word. I encourage everyone, and let me explain real quick. And I've said this before, but there are some new people here. The reason why Grizz and I wanted to create a community like this was for this exact reason tonight, because we need
Yep.
it. People
Yeah.
are looking for it. People want it.
Yeah.
Whether they'll admit it or not, they want it. They need it. And
Hmm.
we have, and we can offer it what they need. And it's not
Absolutely.
something as a gift for us, it's a gift for others. We have to share it. Then it's a true
Mm.
gift. When we have these abilities, it's a true gift when we can share. We can help others. I'm at the point of my life where I want to make a difference in other people's lives because in return, there's going
Yes.
to be some good stuff coming back to me.
Yes. Absolutely. And so it is. Right, Cran.
And this is why this community was started, for this exact reason tonight. For me having a conversation, a very good, beautiful conversation with Cran, who has this endless energy. But it's
Mm-hmm.
great because it keeps my energy up.
It runs out. It runs out. I'm German. I get crusty too. I'm equal parts like crusty as I am love. I'm
But
still a
That
you.
word crusty.
but more so the community is built to make connections with old
Mm-hmm.
friends, new friends. To my I guess for me, my original goal was to bring all different types of backgrounds. I don't want this to be a one trick pony where
Yeah,
we
yeah.
only do tarot card readings. I don't want to just do that. I've been
Right.
invited to do someplace else on another platform, but I think, Fran, you talked about this earlier, that you don't limit yourself in a box when you do a reading for someone. And I don't want to limit who we are in our community. Our
Yeah.
numbers might be small, but I can tell you it is growing. And it's
Yeah.
going to take people like Cran and like Stacy and Grizz and Wade and Walter and Fairy Misery, and I think I am Grandma Warrior or Warrior Grandma, people
Mm-hmm.
like that, and even Wade and Carrie, Crystal Blessings. It's going to take people like us to spread the word to make this community grow. Because I want to learn more about life. I want to learn what's out there. I want to show the people of the world what Hawaii is really like.
Mm.
That's what this community was formed and based on.
Yeah.
And so tonight, Cran, I really have had a beautiful time talking with you tonight.
I'm
Thank you
glad.
for making me actually think tonight.
Thanks for being willing to and
She
open
does
to.
that.
I
Yes.
You'd
love
be
that.
surprised how
She
many
does
people are
that.
like, nah, I don't wanna. Quiet. Be
I
quiet,
I
Carrie
love that.
Ann.
Yeah, well, I cheat a little bit. I try to go to your Instagram. I try to write notes and figure out. I know this about Cran. Cran loves to grow tomatoes, but she hates eating tomatoes.
I'll eat them
Am I
once in a
right?
while, but my daughter doesn't eat them, so I don't really buy them.
Gotcha.
I think I gotta get
But
into sun-dried tomatoes because then I can put them in a jar and like have them with food when I make my own.
I love sun-dried tomatoes, but a
good.
tomato sandwich in the summer is like bomb.
Especially
Love
if you
tomato
got
sandwiches.
bacon, oh, thick cut from the
I
farm.
I
Oh,
can't eat tomatoes because of the acid. I cannot eat
oh, you know
Oh
what? I got a
yeah,
suggestion. I got a suggestion.
sugar.
You want to look for yellow tomato
Oh, we
or
rarely
a
get that here in Hawaii.
chocolate
Rarely.
tomato or
Tomato sandwiches.
an orange tomato.
Okay,
I can try to send you seeds or send you who can send you seeds legally because sometimes there's sometimes you can't send seeds and you could get in trouble, so I don't want to do that, but I'll find
Isn't
some
that nuts?
information. The
That's
reason why I'm
crazy.
suggesting it is because usually people who have struggles with red tomatoes or the acidity of the tomato, it's because of the lycopene. Lycopene is
oh, is
what
that what
makes
it is?
the tomato acidic. And so if you get a yellow tomato, an orange tomato, or I believe even like a chocolate tomato, those
No such
ones
thing as a
have
chocolate tomato.
less lycopenes in them. Okay, tomatoes come in every color from green, yellow, white, orange, pink,
Yeah,
spotted,
I've seen the little
striped.
ones.
They're shaped like tomatoes, they're shaped like cherries, they're shaped like grapes. Some of them are square, some of them
Yeah.
look cubed, some of them shaped like a heart. Some look like little pumpkins, they're like rolly, like.
If anybody would know, Cran would know. That's for sure. And by the way, you can't send
I
seeds
drink
to
a lot of
Hawaii.
water.
We have a very strict customs here in Hawaii.
Okay,
They
so
don't
I'm gonna find
introduce
out a company
anything.
that is because the companies what they do is they pay for having documents, so they can trace and track their heredity and the genetic lines of the seeds. Because trust me, seeds come to Hawaii, but they are restricted. Yes, I personally can't just send you them from my garden, but I will find a provider that can. And you're going to grow white tomatoes and you're going to have sauce that you can have and not cause problems to your body.
Well, shit, then you're going to obligate me to send you pictures. Here's my tomato, right?
I'll send you stuff. I'll send you information. You'll be like, Carrie Ann,
All
stop
right.
it. You're sending me too much stuff.
All right. I do
I'm trying to
appreciate
follow
you.
everybody.
I do appreciate you, Cran, being with us tonight. I would like to ask if we could have you come back another time and
Always.
maybe
When
share a
it's
little bit more. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the horticultural side, because I
sure.
think that's important.
Yeah,
And Stacy,
I'll have to be at home to do that one because then I
Yes.
can show you my crazy plans.
we'll work that out with you. We'll have Grizz work that out with you. How about that?
Yeah, see if you can grow them. Oh, you can grow tomatoes. Tomatoes are like weeds. Like tomatoes are great. You can grow tomato. You can cut like a tomato stem off and stick it in a jar of water, and it'll root. I grew tomatoes this year from cuttings of another lady's plant in a big bucket of water. I got I got 6 or 8 little tomatoes off of them.
Cool. Cool.
Listen, I
Well,
I killed cactus, so
Oh no, that's because
I
you're a
just
nurturer. Cactuses need neglect.
I
Anybody who
know.
kills cactus and succulent, it's because they're too nurturing and they don't know how to like abandon plants.
well, I think she's a
Yeah.
nurturer because she's a mom as
That's
well.
right. That's
Mhm.
why I'm saying she kills
Yeah.
cactus.
I
Because
know.
Well,
cactus
I
want to be neglected.
well, shit, better the cactus than the kids, Stacy. Okay?
right. Thank you.
I love
Cran,
you
again,
guys.
thank you so much, Cran. We'll have Grizz work out the details with you for our return visit. And
Cool.
Stacy, I'm gonna put you on the line right now. I'm gonna have you come back as a guest when you're
Yes,
ready. When you're ready.
absolutely.
I'd
Okay.
like for you to share more about who Stacy is because the world needs to know who Stacy is, the real Stacy, the genuine
Thank you.
Stacy with the beautiful smile, with the freaking awesome hair. I can't get my hair to do that. My hair's too short. But also, I really would like the world to see your creativity. I think you're one of the most
Mm,
beautiful people I've ever met on Periscope with such amazing creativity. I really do. I think
thank
I'm
you.
biased because I create jewelry, but I
Mhm.
think it's one of the most beautiful things about you is your creativity. You
Thank
don't
you.
let limits and boundaries hold you back. I
Mm-mm.
notice
No.
like Cran,
He
how she
doesn't.
thinks outside the box. You with your
Mhm.
creativity, you think outside the box.
Yeah,
And I
Stacy
love that.
doesn't let
Yeah.
things stand in her way.
Yeah.
Stacy made an active and conscious choice to take the step aside that she did. You don't let nothing stand in your way, girl. I know you didn't.
And
You
and by
chose
you
that.
taking that step aside, it didn't mean that the world passed you by. It meant all the ones that needed to pass you by did. Because everybody else was your family is right here tonight.
Yeah.
Absence
We're
makes the
still
heart
beside
grow
you.
fonder.
I'm so grateful. You guys have just like everything I needed. You guys gave me tonight. Thank you.
Good, good. I'm
Welcome.
happy to hear it. So here's the fun part. Okay. I recently with Josh's help, I don't know if he's still here. I know he has to study. He has a lot of studying to do for school. But
School,
with
right?
Josh's help, I was able to put together, or we were able to put together, a very small, intimate YouTube channel. So
Mhm.
if you would like
Okay.
to, that's where you find a lot of, or some of our replays from the past. There's some that still needs to be edited. The ones on there now are very raw, but it's who I
They're
That's
am
great
okay.
though.
right now.
We like that. That's what we're used to on
Yeah.
Periscope.
I
And like
I started watching them today.
this one will probably not change. So I'd like to ask your permission, Cran
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
Stacy, if it's
I'm an open
possible to
book
put that on
always.
YouTube. Cool. I
Yep.
appreciate that. Because I
Absolutely.
I have
really
nothing
like
to
the world
hide.
to
Bring
see.
it on.
Good. I
I
kind of do. I kind of do. But,
know you do. I'm just saying, don't worry about me.
right. And we talked
I have
about
no
that
problem with
earlier.
conflict at all.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. But as long as it's okay with you both, great. I'd like to put it up on YouTube so that people can
Yep.
watch the replay, can see how beautiful these two women are in front of us tonight. I
Thank
appreciate you
you,
both
guys.
very much. I love you both very much. And Grizz,
Love you
Grizz has
too.
been
Love you
feeling under
too.
the weather all day today, yesterday.
Oh
Oh.
Grizz,
my gosh, and you're
if it
still here, girl?
if it wasn't for you, Grizz, I wouldn't be here. I want you to know that.
Oh.
Grizz
You're
is a
cherished,
very,
Grizz.
very she is. She's
Mhm.
much appreciated. I don't say it enough, but I want to make sure this time around I do. I never did it before in Periscope with my mods, but this time I want to. Josh as
Yeah.
well and Ari, who are other mods. And there are other people who are involved behind the scenes
Yep.
that aren't here tonight, but the people who are supposed to be
Oh,
here are here.
Hmm.
Really are. So thank you, ladies. Cran, thank you again so much, Cran. I'll be talking to you on the Instagram message. We'll go over a couple of things. That's okay. Stacy, I'm gonna text you.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Yep.
ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate you both. Thank
yep.
you,
Thank you.
everybody. Go
We
look. Oh, the
appreciate you
YouTube
too.
channel. The YouTube channel I forgot is the elephant in the room, just like
Hmm.
my Instagram. The elephant in the room.
Okay.
Walter, thank you for being here as well, and everybody else who's here. Wade, brother Wade, who's here. We love you guys. We'll see you guys again maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow's a little bit more let loose when the whiskey comes out and the wine
Okay.
comes out,
Okay. Cool.
and we can
Give me a
shoot the shit.
reason.
here's here's your reason right here, Stacy.
Okay.
That's the reason. We might be popping on tomorrow, so I'll send out a post if we do tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
everybody for being here. We'll see you everybody. Good night. Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you guys.